Let me tell you a tale, little Timmy. The year is 2019. A little movie called Brightburn just came out. A evil Superman trope that would later be followed for many years to come. But a month after that, a little show called The Boys premiered. Fast forward 5 years later, almost six, in July, The Boys series finale just came out, and all I gotta say is, just like a Lego set, during season 1, it was perfect, down to the last minute detail. They were following every step they needed in that Lego set, and the more they kept going, they got lazy. They kept skipping the steps, and instead of building a Lego Millennium Falcon, they ended up with a Lego toilet, because that's where all the good ideas went to. So, as per usual, 5 minutes of non spoilers and then 5 minutes of spoilers. Starting with the non spoiler, these will contain the series finales, so you have been warned. Non spoilers, the season 5, oh boy. I'm not sure what they were thinking, compacting a full series finale into only like 8 episodes, and I can tell you right now, it did not work. There is a lot of inconsistencies and a lot of questionable choices with every character. That means every character. Just a lot of weird stuff. There is a lot of characters that go back and forth. A lot of characters that think they're playing 4D chess, but they're actually not. Sister Sage. And a lot of blatant favoritism towards one character that I'll talk about, Soldier Boy. It feels like Soldier Boy, they know he's popular, the actor and all that, so they're gonna give him his own show, his own spin-off right after this. It feels like The Boys ended, so Vought Rising, that's the next prequel spin-off that's coming out along with The Boys Mexico, and I wouldn't be surprised if Soldier Boy's in there too, because they really love Soldier Boy. And in the spoiler section, I'm going to talk about it because, oh boy, it was definitely something. Characters are so inconsistent. Bad writing is everywhere, especially towards Sister Sage. Again, I cannot understand what they were thinking when they wrote that character. They thought they were playing 4D chess. No, you were playing tic-tac-toe. It's just really dumb. Story, again, is also very dumb. Homelander is a beginning, so a little bit of spoiler, but Homelander is trying to find the V1 serum. It's the original serum. It's different from the serum that makes the superheroes of today for them. It gives them like immortality and all that, and he wants to find it so he can become God. It takes 7 episodes to do this, and then in the final episode you see the payoff, and it's just really not worth it. Heck, even in the final episode, I hate how they did this, but for the advertising for the final episode, it looked like Scorched Earth. It was building up towards that for like 2 to 3 seasons now. Scorched Earth, a big battle that would, change the whole universe, the whole world, planet. It looks like it was inflamed and all that. Final battle takes place in the White House. That's it. And it barely looks like they put any budget into it. There's some good, I want to say that in the least glaze possible. There's some good choreography. It doesn't last for long, of course, but there is some in there, not a lot. Also, I know I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan, but I gotta talk about this. I can read sometimes, I swear. The power scaling. Power scaling is all over the place. 1 minute Butcher is having trouble against other V1 character, and then the next moment he's fighting Homelander and he's actually staying his ground, even though this other V1 character should be weaker than Homelander, but he's putting up a fair fight against Homelander, but he had trouble with that guy. Also, there's a funny scene, it's not much of a spoiler, well, it's supposed to be funny, that Homelander lifts this rich guy up in the air because he wants to be an astronaut. It takes him 0.1 seconds to fly up to space, and then he kills him, and then he comes back. He's all like, well, he wanted to be an astronaut. And it's really dumb because later on in that final episode, the power scale is just over the place. He can literally fly up to space in zero point 0.1 seconds, but he couldn't in the final fight. It's really dumb. Secondly, what else was I going to say? Again, characters are just really dumb and inconsistent. There's so much flip-flopping in the story with one character. Again, I can't say it, but it really felt like they needed more time. They just kept dicking around with filler and all that to the point where they tried to fit everything together in 1 hour series finale. It just didn't work. For a series that was patting itself on the back for not copying some stuff from the comics, the ending pretty much copied mostly all of the comics. So it kind of just felt like they gave up at the end. They were all like, well, we already got Val Rising and the Boys Mexico to work with. How do we end this series? I don't know, just take it from the comics. I thought that was what we're not going to do, and then they just do it anyway. Alright, spoiler time, big spoiler time. So if you don't want to be spoiled, here we go. Soldier Boy, again, my biggest gripe with him. He flip-flops so much during this season. At one point, he's helping Homelander because he's his son. At a second point, he hates him. And then the third point, he loves him again. Then the fourth point, he kind of hates him. And then the fifth point, and I know this meme is running around everywhere now, I did it for Clara. Clara is Liberty. She was the racist chick from the third season. I don't remember. Stormfront. He loved her, and it seemed like there was a conflict going on. Then they forget it, and then the conflict comes back, and he keeps flip-flopping. At one moment, he doesn't want to work with Homelander. He betrays him, comes back, and is all like, sorry, bro. It's just so much flip-flopping, and they know that he's a popular character, so they didn't kill him off. They froze him again for the third time, just so he can possibly make a cameo in the future, sequels, prequels, whatever, side stories. They know he's popular, and that's why he didn't even appear in the final episode, because they're saving him. And it just feels like they threw the boys, the actual series, under the bus just because, you know, they want to make these spin-offs. And speaking of spin-offs, Gen V was cancelled, even though it's a spin-off as well, and they get a cameo in the series finale, the final episode. They basically just make a dick joke, a genital joke, and then leave and into the void. That's it. That's the end of their story. No season 2, but here's Val Rising, here's Boys of Mexico. They canceled that series, a series people liked. I personally never watched it. I don't think a lot of people really watched it, but apparently I hear it's better than the boys' writing, which isn't hard to do now, but, you know. What else is there to talk about? Oh yeah, Sister Sage. Sister Sage is an awful character. She served absolutely no point to the plot whatsoever, other than just to think that, to make you, the writers think they're smart. They are not fucking smart at all. It felt like terrible writing. She's supposed to be playing this 5D chess game with everybody, and then in the second to last episode, she makes a mistake, and she's all like, oh my god, I cannot believe it, my functional fourth dimension brain could not believe it. And then in the final episode, she makes Kimiko shoot her. She has Soldier Boy's forget me power that makes superheroes, you know, lose her powers, and she rage baits her. Even though Kimiko could just kill her normally, she didn't have to shoot the beam. She could have just ripped her ass in half. Very smart. She's the smartest lady, by the way. Rage baits her, makes her lose her power being smart, and she's all like, I'm as dumb as you guys now. Nope, you're still the same. You're still exactly the same. Terrible writing, terrible character, and served absolutely no point. But there is one thing, a couple things I did like about the series finale, and that was Homelander's death. Yes, Homelander does die, and it actually feels like a good payoff, because he begs for his life. He's like saying all these things to Butcher, I'll suck your, I'll suck your boy, if you let me live, I'll give you VOD. You see the real Homelander without the power. He is pretty much just a pathetic little boy without the powers, and he grovels, and then Butcher kills him the exact same way in the comics. He puts I forgot the name, the thing Joker used to beat up Jason Todd, a crowbar. Yes, he uses a crowbar, opens up his scalp just like in the comics, and a nice little notch, and then they just pretty much copy the comics from that. But Huey, spoiler alert again, does kill Butcher just like in the comics. He's going to release the virus that's going to kill everybody. For a character like Butcher, there was no way out. He doesn't really deserve a happy ending. He's done too much. He was never going to stop, kind of like Frank Castle, Punisher. But they did copy that from the comics. Again, for a series that pats itself on the back. You copied a lot from the comics at the end. I don't know if they could have made anything else better, but it's an alright ending. It's nothing crazy. Another pet gripe as I'm talking, thinking. The V1 that Homelander took pretty much served no purpose whatsoever. It was supposed to make him into like this Omega level Fred, but in actuality, it felt like it debuffed him mostly because the last 2 seasons, I believe, or last season, I don't remember, it took Soldier Boy, Huey, and Butcher to hold him down, and even then they couldn't do it. But a V1 Homelander that has these Omega rays that he shot into the air can't do it anymore. He's slower. Butcher's able to hold him down, and Teenage Ryan was able to hold him down too. Two people, and it took him down. They were able to hold him down. So I really don't know. Again, I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan, but that power scaling is so atrocious. I don't know. This series, it definitely took a quality landslide. Just just fell down. I really did enjoy season 1. It was an interesting premise, but now it's just, it went out kind of like a whimper. It just felt like they gave up, took stuff from the comics, and we're all like, let's call it a day, buddies. High five, all rising, boys Mexico, here we go. I think that's about it. There's probably a lot more peeves I have with this story. Again, it just felt like they gave up at the end. I'd probably give it like a 5 out of 10. This season in general, like the whole series, maybe like a 7, 6. I did enjoy characters like the Deep. I think Black Noir was completely wasted. They made him into a joke. Haha, we don't do stuff from the comics, but we do take stuff from the comics. So yeah, very very strange writing decisions. It just felt like they gave up. But I did enjoy it for what it was in the beginning, and then it just kept falling down. But yeah, that's The Boys. Maybe next time, Boys, Involve Rising, The Boys Mexico, El Niños, whatever sequel, prequel, trilogy they decide to make. But yeah, I think that's about it. Take care.